Hey everyone, I thought I would do my next video on A Mark of My Soul. One, because it's my most recent book, and two, because the whole month of June is Pride Month. So we get to talk about all the gay stuff, and well, Mark of My Soul is one of them. So, yeah, so we're gonna do that. And so basically I wanna sort of get into why I wrote it, a little bit of what the story itself is about, some little tidbits here and there, and just sort of go from there. But to start off, the entire month of June for Pride Month, you can get the Kindle version of this on Amazon, the Kindle version, for 99 cents all month. So if you haven't got it yet, or if you just want it on your Kindle, head over to Amazon and you can get it there. But otherwise, let's get started. So the book itself is about a high school senior in a suburban North Carolina town, it's actually Kannapolis, North Carolina, who is fighting with himself about trying to come out. He knows who he is, he knows he's gay, but he's scared to come out. So the initial story starts off with him fighting that, and then it builds from him finally coming out, finally, letting the world know who he is, and saying he had nothing to fear. There was nothing he had to worry about. And he has supportive family, supportive friends, and then he finds a guy who likes him that he wasn't expecting. And the story follows their relationship, what they go through, the things they do, the fun they have, and also the troubles that they have, both just normal relationship troubles, as well as other societal issues, family issues that come into play, especially in the LGBT community, that make the relationship problematic at times. And so it is a coming of age tale, but it also is a romance tale in some ways. But it's also a very real story. It deals with real issues, social anxiety, depression, and other things like that. It deals with issues that are, that we deal with in the community. And it's not a happily ever after type of story. So it's, not a story that, everyone gets exactly what they want in the end. I won't say it's a completely sad story, because there's a lot of funny stuff in it. It's a lot of cutesy type of things that go on. And there is resolution in the story, but it's not a happily ever ending story. So keep that in mind when you read it. Beyond that, why I wanted to write A Mark of My Soul. First, I've wanted to write an LGBT story for a while, but I couldn't for a long period of time when I started writing, because I wasn't out yet. And not until a year and a half ago, when I finally did come out, was I able to actually seriously contemplate the idea of writing something like this. And so I did. But before that, I actually had gay characters in my most recent two novels, The Reserve and To Watch You Bleed. Unfortunately, To Watch You Bleed, the gay character in there is a bad guy, I think I was going through issues of my own at that point and battling who I was, and unfortunately, I think that sort of was a side effect of that. And then The Reserve, there's a gay character in it, not necessarily a main character, but prominent enough character that you do see some of the book through his perspective, and he's not a bad guy type of deal. So there was that, but not a book that was absolutely LGBT centric like A Mark of My Soul is. This is the first story that I was able to fully do that, and I think it's important because there isn't a lot of LGBT centric work out there, in my opinion, at least, whenever you look at it in comparison to the works for heterosexual type of relationships. And some people are like, oh, we don't need that type of deal, but teenagers need to be able to read stories, watch movies or whatever that they can relate to. And I know when I was in high school, nothing we read could I really relate to in that sense. And so I think this type of thing is important. not only for teens to be able to relate to what, to have stories that they can relate to, but also for people who are not in the LGBT community to understand what we go through, what teenagers who are dealing with this, what they're going through, how they're feeling, and how what people around them do can affect them and even harm them. So that's the other part. I wanted to write a story that was helpful, whereas my other previous stories were more like, let's scare the shit out of people. This was more of a, let's try to help people. Let's try to give something to teens that they can read, take something away from it, and hopefully be meaningful type of deal. So beyond the why, just a couple little random tidbits. You'll find a lot of real places in the story. The school that Noah and his friends Cam and Parker go to is A.L. Brown High School, which is an actual high school here in Concord, here in Kannapolis, that is featured largely in this book. Editions Coffee Store and Bookshop is another place that's prominently featured here, and that is a real bookstore in Kannapolis. It's probably, well, I won't say probably, it is my favorite place in the world. Great coffee, of course they got books, and they have the best people. I consider them more family than I do friends, so they're amazing. It's an amazing place, so it had to be included in this. And then other places, that you get everywhere, like Denny's and oh God, there's another one. Five Guys, that's the other one. I think there may be another one too, which are mentioned in the story as well. Oh, and Cookout, that's the other one, Cookout. But the ones I'm talking about are specific locations in and around the area, specifically with the Cookout. And if you read it, you'll understand why. I like having real places in my story so that I can see these places later on. Like, oh, that's where Noah and Parker did this. This is where Noah and Cam did this type of deal. To me, that's cool. The other thing is that there are things in the story that take place that actually happen in real life. Not to Parker, not to Noah or Cam, but either happen to me or that I'm aware of type of deal. Specifically, if you read the story, you'll see, or you'll read about a part at Halloween where Noah and his friend at the coffee shop decide to traipse over to an abandoned building they're not supposed to be in. And that is based on a true story where me and some people at the coffee shop decided to walk across the street into an abandoned building that was zoned for demolition. And you'll read and see what happened, and pretty much what's wrote there is what happened there. So yeah, so that's included, and that actually got added right after it happened because it had to go in. It had to go in the story. So there's some random things about the book. There's more that we could say, but I want to keep this short. So if you have any questions about the book, let me know in comments, message me or whatever. And if you want to know more, maybe we can do more videos in the future as well. But don't forget that on Kindle, you can get this for 99 cents the entire month of June. And just like with this book, and for Pride Month in general, I just want to say that it's important for you to know, especially for teenagers to know that if you're a good gay and people don't know this, you're not alone. There are people who love you, even if you don't see that, even if people around you don't think they will, or you don't think they do. There are people who love you. There's no right time to come out. All that matters is that you are in the right mental state to do it, so that that when you do this, that you'll be okay. Some people, they can do that in high school. Some people, it takes longer. It took me till I was 30 years old to get to that point, even though I knew when I was in middle school. Some people, I honestly believe that if I had come out in high school, there's part of me that believes that I wouldn't be here today, just because I don't think I would have mentally prepared for what life may have been like then. And that's just me. Some people are stronger. So it's up to you to know yourself and to come out whenever it works for you. So don't let people push you into it. If you're ready, you're ready. If you're not, you're not, and that's all that matters. Just know that people love you, we love you, I love you, and there's always organizations out there to help you as well. So again, happy Pride, and hope you enjoy the book too. So see ya.